Okay. Welcome. If you are checking out my review of the RoadCraft demo, I appreciate you stopping by. If you could do me a favor real quick, drop a like. If you don't like it, drop a dislike, put in the comments why. And if you're not, subscribe. We are one subscriber away from 100. I will be, you know, hitting some fairly, common sense talking points on this. Also, I'll probably be playing some SnowRunner here shortly if the demo goes away. So, overall, I think the demo is very good. It definitely brings a lot of new things to the table. But I would like to see shifting, make it into the full game. I think that's kind of their main selling point. They've done it with, spin tires or mud runner, whatever you want to call it. Snow runner. They did it with expeditions. I don't know why they wouldn't do it for this game other than simplicity. So I hope that is in the full release. The fuel gauge is a hit or miss. So what I mean by that is, yes, it is a resource now for your mobile garages. It's used to recall a vehicle to that point. But at the same time, it takes away from strategy. So you no longer have to worry about fuel. You can just kind of drive and do whatever. So would I like to see that in the full game as a DLC? Sure. But it's not like a huge necessity for me. Overall, like the new stuff, so like dump truck that you're seeing here, and you'll see the dozer. I think those are awesome. I definitely am having a blast with those. You are able to build roads basically wherever you want, as long as you have a quarry nearby and a dump truck and a dozer. You can, just lay out sand, spread it around, and make your own road. Now, if you want to pave it, that is also a great feature. Have a full team. Literally can daisy chain it. Have somebody dump it, somebody push it, somebody pave it, and somebody roll it. Like, I think those are great additions. I think those are awesome. The crane features are very touchy on mouse and keyboard. Now, that could be on my part because I didn't adjust the sensitivity. So, that could be, human error. I just think that you use your mouse for a lot of it is a bit odd. But if you take it slow, you do pretty well. So that's probably more on my part than anything. The recovery feature is a huge improvement from Expeditions. I know it's a lot like SnowRunner, and I'm going to call it spin tires because that's what it's called when I started playing. I know a lot of people adapted, and started calling it Mud Runner, but it was called spin tires when I started playing it. Unlike, Expeditions, because that's the odd man out. For some reason, that's everybody's, hated game. And I would love to know in the comments why everybody dislikes that game and their own opinions. For me, Expeditions is not that great because of the maps. A lot of the maps are very similar. The missions are very repetitive. Yeah, the tire pressure feature was really cool. Like, I wish that would have carried over to an extent for at least like the scout vehicles. I don't think, the dozer or really any special piece should have that. I think it should just be on the scouts. But that is just my opinion. Other than that, like, I didn't really. I'm not a huge fan of expeditions. It wasn't, like, terrible, but it's just a lot of it was repetitive. Like, they could have did some other things, especially with the DLC. But it is what it is. I would love to see in the full game them expand out and do the multiple maps like in SnowRunner, or extra long jobs. I think that would be cool. Like, you have to connect power to, one point to another point on the same map, and then from that point, maybe you gotta connect it to a third point, which is on a completely other map. I think that would be, really cool. Or you have to pave a road from one map to another map. What else? The tie downs for the cargo. The way you pack it, technically. Like, SnowRunner it just packed it up automatically. This one you actually have to load it and then strap it down. So I do like that feature. I think that's an improvement. Now, you really can't say if it's a successor to SnowRunner until the full game releases. But overall, from what I've played in the demo, and yes, I still play it. Like, I may beat all 3 missions. I still, play it. Mess around with some of the stuff. I definitely think it's up there. Once the full game releases and we actually get to see, all 40 plus vehicles and, the 8 plus maps, I think it'll be up there. It'll be neck and neck. Now, with that being said, another thing I wanted to touch on that I didn't show on stream or in the videos is the codex. So, in the first mission with the, beat down tree cutting machine, from what I've seen in the codex, there will be alternate versions of those machines that are somewhat better. So you could have like a somewhat restored machine to a fully restored machine. So I think they're doing away with the store technically, or at least the customization to an extent. Now, do I agree with that? Not really. I think the, customization aspect should be there for a lot of the vehicles. I could see the specialty equipment like the roller and stuff and not really being necessary other than like a paint job, which is fine. But for like the scouts and the dump truck, stuff like that, I would like to see some customizations, even if it's just like tires. Obviously the paint job is going to have a lot to do with your company, because I believe that you'll be, picking the name for your company, the colors, like the paint scheme, all that stuff. So like I could see that kind of tying into the customization a little bit. But I would like to see some extra like customization options for the most part for most of the vehicles. Now, like I said, obviously the specialty equipment isn't going to have options available. As for like the demo itself, I wish it was available on console, not just Steam. Like, I get it, we're still a couple months away, and yes, by the time you're watching this, I have pre-ordered it. So we will have way more gameplay of this coming up when it releases. I will be more than likely playing this full time. I say full time, like every stream. I'm kind of taking a step back from first-person shooters because, well, look at COD. And overall, I'm having a blast with this. So, you'll see me start taking a different approach to games. But, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're talking about the demo. Overall, if I had to give it like an actual rating out of 10, I would say an 8.5. You know, they showed off a lot of new things, especially with like being able to scrap items and make resources that way, along with the bridges that you could place. I think those are really good features. That and you actually having to bring the resources there, I think, is a huge improvement. Unlike in SnowRunner, like, yes, you had to build bridges in SnowRunner, you had to do all this stuff, like, but it doesn't build the same in this as it did in SnowRunner. So this one you actually have to have at least the right amount, if not extra, and it'll build it right in front of you. There's no special cutscene, nothing like that. So overall, I think this is a huge improvement, at least from Expedition. SnowRunner, you know, is a very, very good game, because it was a huge improvement from Spin Tires or Mud Runner, whatever you want to call it. So this game has some pretty big shoes to fill, but I think all the unique options and stuff that they're bringing in, I think it will come very close to filling those shoes. It may not fill them fully, but it is definitely a step in the right direction, especially compared to Expeditions. So, like I said, I've played Expeditions, I've played SnowRunner, I've played Spin Tires / Mud Runner. And I've done, you know, a lot of them on stream. But this game stands out as somebody who used to, you know, work on an asphalt crew. Like, this game is like right up there with me. Like, it feels that little joy of like, okay, like, I know how this works. Granted, it's not super realistic. Like, yes, they're beat down old pavers. On the modern paver, you know, depending on how wide your road is, you'd have 2 screw guys on each side to adjust the height and how much asphalt actually comes out and all that stuff. Like, you'd have to have a full, like, 6-man crew. But that's a little different. Like, the fact that you can make your own road and pave it and then you'll roll it is very, very cool. Like, I enjoyed that part a lot. Hence why majority of the time on this game, I was in the dump truck and the dozer, you know, flattening out roads and making my own. Granted, I didn't pave them. I didn't roll them a lot. At least on the last map, I didn't. The first map, I actually went back and from the quarry, I paved, you know, that whole road, the whole side road to the wooden bridge, like the road up to the main building by the cement facility, I want to say, and then I also paved down as well. So I paved quite a bit on the first map. Will I do it with this one? I might, because the paver and the roller are on this final map as well. But overall, I think the game's amazing. I hope it comes to console, so the console people have time to try out the demo. If it does come to console, you'll see it some more. I will be playing it with friends, hopefully, at that point. But as for now, with it just being on PC, you know, it's worth it. Like, I think it's 100% worth pre-ordering, especially if you love SnowRunner. That's just my opinion. Like I said, by the time this video comes out, I'll already have it pre-ordered. I'll have the rebuilt edition, so we'll have extra maps and stuff like that, extra missions, all that good stuff. So that will be, you know, first thing on stream right away. But the fact that, you know, you can rebuild just about everything, or you can push things out of the way, like the boulders, for example. I enjoy that a lot. The fact that there's specialty equipment now, and not just, you know, farming and stuff that was in SnowRunner. I mean, I would say Expeditions, but Expeditions didn't bring anything new other than the tire pressure. You could lower it, and even then, it still wasn't that good, because if you go too fast, or even the slightest bit over, you know, damage your tires, which is understandable to an extent, but I mean, it was Expeditions. Every map was, you know, the same. Every mission was the same. It was all very, very repetitive. But this game does bring a whole lot to the table. So, for example, the pipe. You can't just put the new pipe in. You have to take the old pipe out and then wait for the new pipe to be close enough to where it turns green and detach it, and then it goes into place. Like, I like that. I think that's something cool that they brought in. The attention to detail. So, like, when I'm dumping sand in the water, it pushes the water out in all directions. Like, they put a lot of time into this for it being a demo, which is cool. Like, I enjoy it a lot, which gets me really excited for the full game, which, you know, we'll have to see when it fully releases what all, like, is being added that wasn't in the demo. Like I said, I hope they bring shifting back into it. I mean, that's kind of their, like, that's their signature, is shifting. So, I'd like to see it. If not, like, oh well, it's not gonna, you know, make me hate the game. I'm just not a fan of driving in auto the entire time. Yes, you have low, like, I get it, but where's, like, the high gear? You know what I mean? So, overall, let me know in the comments what you guys thought, if you played it, or, you know, if you hope it comes to console. Just let me know something in the comments. Feedback is huge. And yeah, I mean, I don't really have much else to say other than, well, I guess I could touch on the whole infrastructure thing. So the first mission with the cable layer, that was kind of cool. Like, I definitely like all the specialty equipment pieces that they brought in. I just think that some of the turning radius on some of the machines need to be worked on a little bit, because it was, like, super hard to turn, like, when you're laying cable, which is understandable. Like, yes, the back end's digging into the ground, I get it. I'm not saying, like, it's gotta turn on a dime, but the turning should be improved a little bit, like, because it's like you have to back up and then turn. I don't know, it's just, maybe it's me, maybe it's just human error, but I think it's a great game. Like, I can't wait for the full release, and I'm hoping, you know, everybody who watches this video, swing by the Twitch, swing by the Kick, because when this drops, this is what we'll be playing. More than likely, we'll be playing it with friends as well. So, I'd like to do giveaways on the Twitch and the Kick, but for that, you need subs. So, consider subscribing, even if it's a Prime sub. It goes a long way. So, yeah, other than that, we're going to let this video kind of play out. Let me know in the comments, like, subscribe. If you dislike, put in the comments why, you know, what I could work on, something. And I will catch you guys in the next video or on stream. I should have probably moved that one, but oh well. At least I'll have a steady base for this, for the most part, for my anchors. And I can literally just back all the way down this and not have to worry about anything else. And that is the best part about this game, is you can literally make your own roads. There we go, there's that one.